Welcome to the show. We're going to do things a little bit differently today. A few weeks ago I got talking to Rob about his love for cooking at dinner parties, but he's always a bit scared, he always plays it safe. He also loves lamb shanks, so today we're going to try and branch out a bit, do something creative, and hopefully kill two birds with one stone. So come join me in the kitchen.
Hi Cam.
How you going? How you going?
Good to see you. Come in.
Thank you. So here we are with Rob in his beautiful kitchen. Your favourite dish is lamb shanks, but how much experience have you got cooking them?
To be honest, Cam, I've never cooked lamb shanks. I've always enjoyed lamb shanks ever since my grandmother made them for me when I was younger. And I notice now that lamb shanks are a popular feature on a lot of restaurant menus, but it's something I've never really had the confidence to be able to cook myself. So
Yeah, and they're getting more expensive, so they don't want too many practice goes at it either.
Absolutely.
All right, the trick to cooking lamb shanks is you've got to cook them at a low temperature for a long time. It doesn't matter what sauce or whatever you're doing, the way the meat gets broken down is broken down by doing it that way. Okay. So that's why we do that. Just a very simple one today. We're just going to do it with some veg and some herbs and some white wine. Yep. And once we've mastered that, maybe you can take it to another level again.
Fantastic.
But we'll just start off now by dicing up our onions and our garlic.
Yep. So
you don't have to be too precise with it at all. Don't know about your onion, but my eyes are starting to go already. So just nice and rough. It doesn't matter because we're going to braise it for a long time. It's not really too stressful.
A good friend of mine is a butcher, and he was telling me that many years ago they used to give lamb shanks away to when people bought a leg of lamb.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
With your garlic, just slice that afterwards.
Now, Cam, I notice that you're always a fan of fresh garlic.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't be buying my garlic in minced garlic in jars anymore.
Yeah, no. Well, the big thing there is that because it's pureed up, it sort of really changes the flavour of it, makes it quite harsh. So just into the bowl and we'll move on to browning our lamb shanks off. So the reason why we put these into the flour is to get a nice brown coating on them.
Yes.
But also this flour will thicken our sauce a little bit later on.
Yep.
So just easy as you like, through the flour and then just into your pan.
Okay.
And it should take, in a medium to hot pan, should take about a minute to a minute and a half each side.
Yep. Being
3 sides on here. So I'll get you to do the next 3 though.
Sure.
So you've got a dinner party lined up to show off your new skills for, or?
Well, Cam, I'm thinking that maybe in the last weekend of September I could have a dinner party to celebrate Collingwood's pending premiership.
Oh, really? I probably wouldn't go buying the ingredients just yet.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah. So now that they're going like that, we're just going to leave them alone and we'll move on to prepping up our veg.
Okay.
So the vegetables you want to use for a dish like this are ones that aren't going to break down too much. Right. So that's why I've got the carrot and the parsnip.
Yep.
But then we've also got our zucchini and our tomato, which will break down and they will create the sauce.
Okay.
So that's why I've got the 2 different types there. With your vegetables, yep, about there's perfect.
Nice chunky pieces.
Yeah, something to get your fork into.
Yep.
They soak up the sauce as well, so they're a real feature of the dish. That's the first side done. So we just want a light colouring on them. Can you see there, Rob? Just a light colouring. You don't want to burn them or anything like that. You just want to get a little bit of colour on them.
So Cam, what is your favourite dish that you would do for a dinner party?
If I have a dinner party, there's something that makes very little mess normally.
Yep.
But I love to do fresh pasta because pasta's something I really love doing.
Yes.
And but I always like to get people involved in it as well. So I mean, if you come to my house for a dinner party, you can be sure you've got to bring an apron along with you because it's not an easy ride.
I'll be waiting for the invitation.
Yeah, well, it might be at your place because I mean, this bench would be absolutely perfect for it. But so that's been another minute. So we'll put these on of our last turn. You don't want to do this for too long because otherwise the flour can like start, see the flour's just coloured there and toasted, but the flour can actually burn if you play around for too long.
Okay.
So that's why we're just doing it lightly, because the flour's going to really add to the sauce as well and just give it that sort of thickness.
Sure.
All right, so we're all done, beautiful. Lastly, we'll just chop up some herbs.
Okay, and what herb is that?
That's basil.
Basil, okay.
Just beautiful fresh basil.
Yep.
Plenty of it in there as well.
Yep.
And you've got your sage here as well. Do it at the same time.
Okay.
So just run your knife through it. You don't want to cut them up too much.
And do these herbs help bring out the flavours and the taste?
Yeah, not just in the actual shank, but they sort of add another dimension to the sauce.
Yep.
And I mean, it's the seasoning of the dish and the herbs and that make the difference between a really, really nice dish and something you might just buy or something you may have cooked in the past.
So they look pretty brown.
Yeah,
ready?
And they've done their 3 sides at a minute each.
Okay.
So we'll chuck them in the slow cooker. You want to take the lid off for me?
I can.
And just put them in. But we don't want to get rid of our pan because we want all the flavour off the bottom.
Okay.
And we're not done cooking just yet. So now they're going to fit in there nice and snugly, which is a good thing. Because when we cover them, we don't want to have too much sauce. Because the sauce gets infused with that. So that's perfect for that.
Great.
So now you know, 5 shanks for your slow cooker.
Okay.
So back on the heat, we're going to add our onions and garlic now. And we just want to get a bit of colour on these now as well. All this does is it just adds more flavour from them being caramelised, brings out the sugars.
Yep.
Because in the slow cooker, none of that's going to happen.
Right.
It's just such a gentle heat.
Yep. Those onions smell beautiful, Cam.
Yeah, they look pretty good too. But you know what else looked good when I was driving up here? I saw a pretty fancy ute out the front.
Yes.
What's the story with that?
Yes, that's my little baby. It's a 1984 Chevrolet El Camino ute, and it's a pretty rare little beast because it's a Conquista model, which is the upgraded version.
Okay, so air conditioning or?
It's got air conditioning and 350 Chevrolet engine in it. One of my passions in life is classic American cars.
Yeah. All right, but our onions are ready now. So enough chitter chatter. We'll get these in the slow cooker. So just straight in over the top. And because there's still a bit of residue and things in our pan now, we're going to add our wine, which the acidity of the wine will lift it up.
Okay.
And it'll also give a head start on the cooking time in the slow cooker because it'll bring it up to temperature. So we'll just let this come up to the boil. It's actually better when you're making a dish like this to use a pan that's not non-stick because it tends to caramelise things better.
Oh, okay.
And then the wine really, you'll see the results of the wine. But this should still get a little bit of flavour off the pan for us. While that's coming up though, we'll get the rest of our veg into the slow cooker. Make sure you get it all in there, Rob.
I will.
All right, so we'll just spread that evenly over. And now I'll get you to put some seasoning in there as well. Be quite generous with your salt and your pepper.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have the fancy grinders here.
And that'll do for your salt, yep. Bit of pepper. Depending on how much pepper you like, your personal taste buds.
Not a lot.
No, so that'll do it then.
Good.
All right, now our wine's come up to the boil. We can add that as well. And then we're nearly there. We're just going to add just enough water now, just to cover the lamb shanks. This is what forms our sauce though, so you don't want to add too much water, just enough to cover it.
Okay.
Because that's how you get a really tasty sauce.
Right.
So you can see there's a few things poking out. It doesn't matter because the steam's going to cook then.
Right.
Okay, so we'll put the lid on now and flick that over to high for about half an hour, just to bring it up to temperature, and then on low for about 2.5 to 3 hours till they're nice and tender. All right, so we need a beautiful entree though, and I've got just the thing that's going to complement it, broccoli and spinach soup. That's one of my favourites, and I hope you're going to stick around, Rob.
I certainly will.
Yeah, beautiful. You can give me a hand with it then. I'll see you after the break.